All right, there he is, the one and only Quinton Rampage Jackson. Like I said, first met Vanderlei Silva back in November of 2003. Pride Final Conflict, 2003. Crazy. That night, he also defeated Chuck Liddell. He lost to Vanderlei Silva that night in the one-night tournament, and then he fought him again shortly thereafter, Pride 28, October 31st, 2004, and then, of course, defeated him at UFC 92 in December of 2008. All right, so we spoke to DC earlier. Biggest event of the year thus far for the Ultimate Fighting Championship is UFC 226. Headlining act, of course, is DC moving up to heavyweight to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, the reigning, defending heavyweight champion in the world, the one and only Stipe Miocic. And he joins us via the magic of Skype. Stipe, how are you? Look at that smile.
What's going on?
How are you? Wow, look at this. Heavyweight champ, the baddest man in the world on the first ever Ariel Helwani MMA show here on ESPN. This has to be one of the greatest honors of your career, right, Stipe?
I mean, honestly, it is. Like, words can't describe, the emotions that are coming out of me right now.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
I appreciate that, and I feel it. I was told that when you found out about this show premiering today that you called your manager, the great Jim Walter, and you said, I must be on this program. Is that true?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be the first fighter ever on it, and apparently not.
Well, I wanted to build to it, you know?
No, we're going to talk about that later.
Okay. Could I ask you, Stipe, what are you more nervous about, July 7th against Daniel Cormier or July 1st NBA free agency starting and the eventual departure of LeBron James from your beloved Cleveland Cavaliers?
Having my first child, that's what I'm more nervous about.
Are you legit nervous for that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I want nothing but the best for her.
Well, what are you nervous about? That you're not going to be a good dad, or just the delivery? What do you the change in your life?
Just making sure I'm good, man. Just make sure she lives the best life possible.
Yeah, and it will be a girl. You know that for a fact.
100%. Yeah, that's what they say, unless something crazy happens.
Yeah. When is? Go ahead.
Unless it comes out a boy, so but everything leads to a girl. So
it is crazy. You guys didn't want to do the surprise thing, just not.
No. I'd rather know and just get everything set up now.
Is everything set up? The crib.
Oh yeah, everything's good to go. I did it all.
You did it all yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I had help, but I definitely did it all myself. Yeah.
I hired the guys from like IKEA and stuff. I did nothing.
Yeah, well, IKEA, you need to hire people from there because it's terrible. I put a bed together from there. My hands hurt for like 2 weeks.
But you built the crib, all that stuff. That's impressive. That's more impressive than anything you do in the cage.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard though. Honestly, most of it was already put together. So.
Okay.
But the crib wasn't too hard and stuff like that. And the hutch was most tedious part, but that wasn't too bad.
So due date is in August, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Did you ask to fight so that you can get the fight out of the way? Like, did you want to be on this, or did it just kind of align itself that way to fight on July 7th?
It just aligned, honestly. It just aligned that way, thank God. I made sure it was okay with my wife, because this is more important than a fight. I just want to make sure that she was good and that the baby would be good, and it worked out well.
Typically, I know your wife attends your events, but since she'll be so close to giving birth, is this one that she's going to sit out?
Yeah, I told her to stay home. I told her no go. She's all belly and the baby's already sitting pretty low, and I'm not taking any chances.
Is she okay with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. She wasn't at first, but she understood.
Okay.
But then she wanted to come, but then she realized too. She said, "Yeah, I can't go."
I know.
Plus, she'd be miserable out there. She'd be so hot.
Yeah. There's a lot of emotion. There's nerves, things like that. Is there a chance she might not even watch the fight because of the nerves involved?
Yeah, I don't know. She was talking about it. She depends, I think, how she feels. I mean, I don't know. She's talked about not watching it. She's talking about watching it. I think she'll play it by ear. I think the day off she'll figure it out how she feels.
Do you feel like a different person? I guarantee you will feel like a different person the moment your daughter is born. But already as you're preparing to go into battle, knowing that you're going to be a dad, and I know you were aware of this for the last fight, but it is so close. You could see the belly, all that. Do you feel like your motivations are different, your thoughts are different, the way you think about the fight is different?
Oh, of course. Yeah, there's no question. I want nothing but the best for her, so I'm going to do whatever I do to give her the best life.
But does that bring more anxiety?
No, not at all.
No? Just thinking, okay, I have to win for my daughter. I have to win for my family. It's not just about me and my wife. It's not just about me like it was back in the day.
Yeah, no, it's all about her. It's always about her.
Okay.
And my wife.
When the UFC approached you, we haven't talked in a minute. When the UFC approached you with this, were you on board right away? This fight, this idea?
No, no, not at all.
Why?
I just just because I wanted to make sure it was okay. I literally was not even like I just got home from the fight. I was sore, I was tired. I didn't want to talk about fighting at all. And then make sure we talked to DC about it, and also I want to make sure it was okay with my wife. Because I was leaving for over a month. And she was okay with it, and just the time worked out well, so we went with it.
So they approached you like the moment you got home from the Francis fight?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I was home Monday, and then they called me on Monday, but I didn't answer. I said no. I answered on Tuesday. I called out Tuesday.
Did you consider trying to take the fight but no Ultimate Fighter so that you wouldn't be away for that long, or did you have to take both?
I think I had to take both. That was the deal.
Was that a sticking point for you?
No, I mean, I didn't want to leave, but I mean, they paid well, and I couldn't pass it up. And it's not about me now; it's about my wife and the child.
Sure.
It's always been about them.
Did you enjoy coaching the Ultimate Fighter?
I did. I learned a lot about myself. I really never coached before. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. I brought a lot of good coaches in to help me, and I learned a lot about myself. And I want nothing but the best for these kids.
What did you learn about yourself in particular?
Just what they go through. I know what I go through, but I know what they go through, and just and not every fighter is the same. You gotta look at that way, the way their styles. You gotta listen to them. You gotta listen to their body, and you can't just tell them what you want. You gotta listen to them.
Have you recruited? Sometimes what happens is you coach a show, Ultimate Fighter, and then you take some recruits, some young guns with you. Any guys follow you to your strong style gym?
Well, Gunther's always been there. Jose Martinez, he's from Lorraine, which is not too far away, probably 20, 25 minutes away from me. He's been coming to our gym now too. He's with us now.
And have you been watching the show every week? Are you the kind?
No, actually, I'm not.
Why?
I've been busy. I was tired. I don't know.
You don't want to watch how it's edited, how you look, and nothing like that?
No. I mean, listen. Hard for me to talk. People I talk too fast, and listen, it's nothing I don't know already. So I just, Plus, training gets late, and I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Last thing you want to do is watch yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Being with DC, like close quarters, the guy you're about to fight, that's something new. Was that a nuisance at all?
No. I mean, we saw each other not really like the whole day. I mean, in passing and stuff, and from trainings and then fights and stuff, but nothing terrible. Just wasn't like annoying or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
You guys spent the day with each other not that long ago in Cleveland, where he went to the firehouse. He went to the gym with you and all that stuff. Of course, this fight was nowhere on the radar when that happened. Do you feel in hindsight like he was almost like spying on you, keeping tabs, like he had some ulterior motives?
No, I mean maybe not. I don't think so. Honestly, I don't. I mean, if he did, well, good for him. I mean, but he didn't get anything out of it, so.
Okay. You kept the cards close to your vest.
Always do.
Yeah, I know that about you. I know that about you for sure. As far as the matchup is concerned, like, do you feel like this is a mismatch in the sense that you are a legit heavyweight? This is a guy who hasn't fought heavyweight for several years. You're much taller than him. You're bigger than him. There's expected to be a height and weight advantage. Like, do you really like everything, the tail of the tape, so to speak, as opposed to a guy like Ngannou? This is the complete opposite in that sense. Do you like the way this sort of weights in your favor?
Well, I mean, I match it very well with him. It has nothing to do with the height and the size and anything like that. I just match it very well. I think he does. I'm counting on full. And I have the best coach in the world. So when I come to that fight, I'll be ready. And he's fought heavyweight before. He's fought the best in the world. He hasn't fought there in a while, but you can't take away from him. He's one of the best in the world, and he's coming to fight. It's what he does. But unfortunately, he's fighting me, and he's never faced a heavyweight like me.
He told us just moments ago that he feels like you can actually knock him out early, but if this goes into the championship rounds, this is his fight. This is perfect for him. How do you feel about that?
Sure, that's what he thinks. I mean, yeah, I know I can knock him out. I know I can knock anyone out, but if it goes into deeper waters, I'll be ready too. I mean, I've been training my butt off. I'm not. I hope he thinks I'm not. I don't think I'm not in shape or something, but whatever. I mean, you'll find out real soon. Everyone does.
Is there anything that he does that concerns you?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, he does. He's a great wrestler. He's very agile. He's quick. He moves well. But I think I'll be ready for it because I have the best coaches in the world. They watch film on him. We study him. We do everything he does. We try to make his strength his weakness, and there's a lot of things we do. And I'll be ready for whatever he brings to the table.
By the way, when you watch film on him, are you focusing on the heavyweight Daniel Cormier from the Strikeforce days, or do you feel like he's the same guy whether it's at heavyweight or 205?
Well, I think it's hard to, when you're that old, you get older. I do the same thing. It's hard to change your tendencies. So you watch. I try to watch earlier fights, and you watch older fights too. We do. We watch all the fights, and I don't think much has changed. He's a great fighter. He's bringing it.
Okay. Do you feel in a way, like I get this from fans, Daniel's on the verge, like he can make history in this fight. For you, it's just a title defense. Is that fair?
Nah, he made history, but yeah, he's not making history on my back, man. Listen,
no.
I'm gonna keep it rolling, dude.
Yeah, but like he has the opportunity because he could be the double champ. You're just defending your belt. Is that fair? Like, would you throw out the idea? I know it's crazy, but something extra that you get if you beat this guy because he has a chance to put 2 belts on. You don't have that chance. Do you get that? What I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. No, man, listen. He ain't breaking nothing on my record. Listen, as long as I'm champ, no one's gonna be champ. I said, listen, all you're gonna hear is "and still," and I'm walking out of the octagon with the belt still wrapped in my waist. Nothing's changing.
You believe that the only time you're not champion is when you give up the belt, when you retire, right?
Yep, 100%.
Could I ask, and I have a feeling that you had a feeling this was coming, could I ask, how is your relationship with the UFC these days?
I guess it's better. I don't know. They're my employers. They're fine, I guess. Yeah. Listen, I'm fighting right, so it's
Sure.
good. Well,
Is it better than January than it was in January?
I think so. I'm fighting right.
Well, yeah, but they want to be in business with you because you're the champ. You're the heavyweight king.
They can do what they want. Yeah, I think it's great. I don't really talk too much. I think it's mostly my manager, Jim, that takes care of everything. So,
would you like to have a closer relationship with the brass?
No, I'm good, man. I got other things to worry about.
By the way, you said they're your employer, but I would correct you. They're your promoter. Their job is to promote you.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
What?
Good one.
Why?
Nothing. Yeah, all right.
You don't feel like that happens?
No, it's all good.
DC was just on Conan. When's your Conan appearance? Or are you doing Fallon or one of those?
I couldn't leave it. It's a little bit different because he's only an hour away. I'm 4.5, 5.
Okay. So they did ask you?
Yeah, I just couldn't do it.
Okay. You don't care to do that stuff?
No, I do. I just don't want to leave camp. It's a little bit different. If it was in Chicago or New York, it's a different story.
I know that you're in. There's shows in New York, but I know that you were in Vegas for a while. Did you ever have a little sit down, break bread, a coffee, an espresso, a little piece of cake, something with Dana White? Did you guys clear the air?
Not really. I don't know if we cleared the air, but we're fine. I talked to him, had a good time with him. We had dinner. And, nothing. Like it was the end of the tough. It was after the tough fights. They took all the guys out. We had dinner. I sat right next to him. We had a couple cocktails and talked, and that was about it.
It wasn't a one-on-one dinner.
No.
Why didn't we do that?
I don't know. That'd be kind of weird.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't hanging out with my friends. I don't know. I'm not going away. I got stuff to do.
An airing of grievances, if you will.
Okay, sure, buddy. Whatever you need, whatever you want.
When you win, notice I said when, not if. July 7th.
I would have changed it for you.
Right. Yeah. Who wraps the title around your waist?
You'll find out.
Oh, that's the reason to buy the pay-per-view. That alone. Honestly, if I was on the fence, that alone puts me over the edge. Just that.
Yeah, right. I'm very good. I'm very sneaky. Yeah, man, I'm not worried about it. Listen, I'm going to go out there, do my job, get my hand raised, and you'll find out who puts the belt around my waist.
Have you thought, the answer to this question?
No, I really haven't thought about it. Honestly, I'm just focused on DC. He's a tough fighter, bringing it, and I'm excited for July 7th. I'm super excited, actually. I wish the fight was this weekend, actually.
Really? Is this typical for you, or are you more excited than usual?
No, it's typical. I just wish the fight was here already.
Yeah.
Sick of training. I just want to fight.
Sure. And do you expect to have a big size advantage over him, or do you think it would be? He told us he'll be around 245. What do you think you'll weigh?
I don't know, probably 240.
Oh, he's gonna weigh more than you?
Yeah, probably. I'm not gonna weigh anything different. I'm not gonna change who I am. Good for him, 245. That's a lot of weight to carry.
Yeah. Are you surprised by that?
No, whatever he wants, man. Good. Sure. I don't know. I don't know what he wants. It's whatever he wants. I'm just gonna worry about me. I'm gonna do me, and that's it.
Do you feel like that's almost a disadvantage to him to a degree to carry that much weight when he's used to fighting at a lower weight?
Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out.
Okay.
I know he's gonna bring it though.
Sure.
He's a heck of a fighter.
Yeah. And by the way, what could I ask? What is the mood? Or maybe you've got blinders on, but Are you worried about LeBron leaving? How do you feel?
No, listen, man. Want nothing but the best for the guy. Whoever's best for him and his family. He brought a title to the Cleveland like he said he was. Hopefully he stays. It'd be great. It'd be great for the city too. But we'll see. We'll find out what he wants.
Okay, so you won't be, because I saw footage of you burning his jersey when he left in 2010. You won't do that again?
That's a lie. I actually never have had his jersey, so that's a lie.
Yeah. Do you expect that kind of reaction if he leaves?
I don't really think so. I think he said he'd bring title back to Cleveland, and he did. So you can't be mad at the guy and let him do what he wants.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna leave. He's just they're trying to do stuff around here, and we'll find out. Listen, I wish nothing but the best for the guy. If he stays, awesome. If not, it is what it is. But he brought a title back to Cleveland.
Your boys.
No, yeah. I mean, when I see him, I say hi, but I don't have his number or anything like that.
You're not going to text him, give him the pitch?
No, why?
Why?
I get it every day.
Yeah, but he respects you. You're a fellow athlete. You're the king. You're the heavyweight king.
Well, yeah, but he knows what he's doing.
Could I ask you honestly? Do you think in the back of your mind, and I know you respect DC, but there are two massive fights looming, like right there for you, Brock and John Jones. Do you think about those? What those could mean for you and your bank account? And none of that? No, not at all.
July 7th.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Has that come up at all? Have they tried to even talk to you about that? If you win, you get this, you get that?
No, I'm worried about July 7th. I won't even answer the phone call if you want to start talking. I'll really hang up on it if they talk about it.
Stipe, this is Danny. I'd like to talk to you about you click.
Yep, gotta go.
Yeah. Okay, hopefully you don't do that to me. Do you foresee this going in a certain way? Do you dream about it in a certain way? Do you think it goes a certain way? Do you have a plan?
I always have a plan for my fights, but the plan is I'm going to be walking out with the belt still wrapped around my waist. Nothing's going to change. Got my hand raised, and still, I'm going to win the fight no matter what.
But in terms of a flow, do you feel like this will be one of your quicker ones or more like the Ngannou fight?
I don't know. We'll find out. He's a tough guy. He's fought some amazing guys, and he's going to bring it. And I'm going to bring it. A knockout, of course, is great, but if it's got to go to decision, it's got to go to decision or submission. We don't know. Maybe I'll pull something out of my hat.
Oh, wow. When is the last time you had a submission, if ever?
Yeah, one would do leg kicks.
Oh, right. Yeah, but like a legit, actual choke or an armbar or something like that. Have you ever had one in your pro career? No, right? No. Wow. Never. Wouldn't that be something? Unbelievable. And by the way, congrats to you and the team on Jessica I winning.
Oh, yeah. She looked great, right?
Yeah. That was a good performance.
She needed that. It was awesome. I'm so proud of her.
She was fired up after. Did you hear her post-fight interview?
No, actually, I was trying to calm down because it was 8 o'clock in the morning here.
She was so fired up. Holy smokes. And she's typically a fired up person. But I saw the majority of your team was out there with her. Was that a problem for you in terms of training? Were you able to have her? Are they back?
No, we had guys back here too helping me out, so we're good.
Okay. Perhaps an omen of things to come in a couple weeks.
100%.
All right. Stipe, I appreciate this. It means a lot to me that you'd come on the show for the first episode. Best of luck to you. I know you're kind of upset that you weren't the first fighter, but please don't hold it to me.
Like I said, I'll give you a text later. It's
But you know what? When I put the lineup, you were first, right at the top.
Okay, I'll give you that. But hey, on another note, dude, congratulations, by the way. I'm very proud of you, man. Congratulations for everything that's happened for you.
Thank you, Stipe. I appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you out there in Vegas. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There he is, Stipe Miocic, the man himself, the heavyweight champ, the reigning, defending heavyweight champion of the world, the baddest man on the planet, fighting July 7th in Las Vegas. What a fight. What a big fight that is, in my opinion. One of the biggest in UFC history when you have the light heavyweight champion going up against the heavyweight champion, trying to make history when you have Stipe, the most successful heavyweight champion in UFC history, the most successful title defenses in the promotion's history. That's big stuff. And the card is phenomenal, of course. You don't need me to tell you. Although it feels like it's kind of creeping up on us. Now that Singapore is out of the way, it's all hands on deck as far as 226 is concerned. But it does sort of feel like the card is creeping up on us, right? I mean, July 7th, like I said, is less than 2 weeks away. To me, it gets the nod over 225, which at the time was the best. 223 was great too, but then, of course, it was ravaged with all the craziness. Jamie Moyle against Emily Whitmire, Lando Venata against Drakkar Klose, Dan Hooker against Gilbert Burns. That's the Fight Pass prelims. Curtis Millender, who I think is one of the big prospects at 170, against Max Griffin, who's coming off that big win over Mike Perry in February. Rob Font against Rafael Sunsao, which is completely flying under the radar. That is a very important fight. at 135 with the Sunsao sort of jockeying for position with Marlon Moraes. So that's a big one. At bantamweight, Yancy Medeiros against Mike Perry, the aforementioned Mike Perry, which is kind of interesting that he's above Max Griffin on the card. And then how about this one? I love this one. Uriah Hall, who is hopefully healthy. Remember what happened to him in St. Louis, where he said he suffered a mild heart attack while cutting weight, which is still the craziest thing. It is without a doubt the craziest thing that I ever heard as far as MMA weight cutting horror stories are concerned. Like, that is just mind blowing. Going up against Paulo Costa, the eraser, Paulo Costa Borrachinha, one of the rising stars in the UFC at 185. And then how about this main card? Gokhan Saki against Khalil Roundtree. Gokhan Saki back, had the great debut in September. And so that is a great fight at light heavyweight. Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis. I mentioned 223. Of course, that fight was supposed to happen at 223. Chiesa was sitting on that bus that was attacked by Conor McGregor and members of his team, his friends, was split open. So he is healthy now. He is returning. That's the fight that was supposed to happen on the card that got canceled. Pettis was ready to go, so I'm looking forward to that fight at 155. Francis Ngannou against Derek Lewis. We'll be talking to Derek Lewis a little later on in the program. Looking forward to that. And then, of course, the doubleheader as far as title fights are concerned. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier in the main event, and then the co-main event, Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega. In a matter of moments, by the way, we are going to be joined by Brian Ortega, who is getting ready for his very first UFC title fight. Looking forward to that. We were talking earlier about Rory McDonald and Gegard Mousasi, one of the more anticipated title fights. DC versus Stipe is on that list, but right at the top of that list as well is Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway. And the one and only T-City is joining us right now on the very first episode of Ariel Helwani's MMA show right here on ESPN. There he is, T-City, Brian Ortega. How are you, my man?
What up, bro? What up? How is it?
It's great, man. How are you?
Good, man. Just about to get the day started.
Okay.
A little late, but yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. I know you're being pulled in a million different directions, so it means a lot that you'd come on before your big title fight. Thank you very much. And by the way, I have to ask, I was loving the beard, man. What happened to the beard? Why'd you shave it?
Because so I did a little poll, right? I said, do you guys like the beard more or the shave look more? And everyone picked the beard more, so I shaved.
Why? What? That makes no sense. Why'd you do that?
Just piss everyone off.
Damn.
Just piss everyone off. Yeah, I'd like to mess with people a little bit, but I'm gonna grow up like skin to get in there and back again.
Okay, so you're gonna keep a little something for the fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I liked it. I thought it was a great look. You have a bit of a baby face, you know?
Trust me, I was kind of kicking myself after. I was like, man, I kind of liked it. You know, I looked more adultish, you know, and everything, and I shaved it. I looked like a 20-year-old kid again, and then I was like, yeah, should have stuck with the beard.
It's all good. It will grow back.
But it's all good.
I'm happy you feel that way. Could I also ask you, Brian, you do things in the cage that I couldn't dream of doing. You possess DNA, like fighters possess DNA that I don't possess. But I saw you, Brian, throw out the first pitch at the Angels game, and it was just a bit outside. It bounced. What happened there, Brian? Is it harder than it looks being on the mound? What happened there?
No, yeah, the mound threw me off, all right? I was in there, and I was practicing all night with one of my buddies, and then I was on fire all night. All night I was on fire. I was throwing heat, everything, and then all of a sudden, the next day, the day of the pitching, I was like, all right, let me warm up a little bit. The day of, threw again. I was like, I still got it, and I was like, I had no worries. I was like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna kill it, I'm gonna throw a strike. People are gonna go, damn, this guy can pitch too. Stepped in there and I went on the mound, and I was like, what the hell is this? Because it's lifted from the ground.
Yeah.
And it makes you step down as you pitch. So I aimed at the pitcher like I did when I was on flat ground, and the ball just dropped right before it hit to him, and I was like, oh man. And it just took me one shot to understand the calculation. I just got to aim it above his head, but unfortunately I didn't get that shot again, and I just looked like I threw a ball. But I told everyone, at least I didn't do the 50-cent pitch, so I'm good.
Yes. That it was super wide. I feel like you get a second chance, like today, you nail it.
I would. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know I would. I was trying to get a second, but I don't want to look like a sore loser by throwing my first pitch.
Did your boys give you crap for that?
Yeah, they go stick to fighting.
Yeah, well, you do pretty well at that.
Yeah, all the boys are like, stick to fighting. You're one trick Nick, all this stuff. So, yeah, it wouldn't be your homies if they didn't make fun of you.
That's true. And the difference is, of course, you're being asked to do that in a Major League Baseball stadium, and very few people are. So that is a honor in its own right. And here we are, just less than 2 weeks away from your first title fight. Does the road to this fight feel different for you? Like, you have to do little things like that. Of course, you're getting more attention. But in terms of mentally how you feel and prepare and think about the fight, do you get the sense that this is a different deal for you?
No, everything for me has always been the same. I come in every single fight just with the same mentality. I kind of just don't really care about who the opponent or what the stakes are. I just go in there and just kind of have fun and enjoy the actual process and my actual job, right, which is to fight and give fans a show. And obviously for me, it means to go out there and finish the fighter who's going to be in front of me and win the fight. And that's always been, for me, that's always been my deal. It's like I just go in there and I have one objective, and that's just to finish whoever's in front of me. And so far we've been successful, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But there is life-changing stuff at the end of this rainbow, right? So you don't allow yourself to think about how my life will change, what could happen if I win, how big. This isn't, the Frankie fight was big, but this is on a whole other level. You don't even need to tell you that. You don't feel like you think of it differently at all?
Almost. Well, like I said, I don't know what to expect because I don't know what that life is,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't know what kind of responsibilities and pressures is going to come with, if you become a champ and everything. But all I can do is I'm heading that direction, and whether you're ready for it or not, for me, it's just like we just cross that bridge when it comes. And I have a great team behind me. I got good people around surrounding me, and I think I'll be all right.
Do you remember the first time, your story about being involved in martial arts at a young age is well told, but do you remember the first time you dreamed of being a UFC champion?
Yep.
Could you
I
tell
do,
us?
actually. I was at the Staples Center watching UFC 60,
Yep.
I think.
Yep. Hoist
And it
Gracie,
was,
Matt Hughes.
yes, Hoist Gracie and Matt Hughes. And what happened was there was a teacher at the academy who took interest in me because he see me training all the time and kind of knew a little bit about what my situation was. And he took me to these fights, and we sat at the booths, and we sat there, and I watched the fights. And I before I went to that show, I did an amateur fight, and I loved it, but I didn't really know where it led to till I was there that day. And while I was watching it, I just seen like the lights, the camera, the fighters walking out, the crowd, everyone screaming, and and I was just a kid. I was sitting there, and then everyone's in the booth, kind of like having food and enjoying themselves, and I'm sitting there just watching the fights, not blinking, not moving, and I was so intrigued by it. And that's when I made up my mind. I said, you know what? When I grow up, I'm gonna fight there. Like
Wow.
I'm gonna fight in the UFC. And I told him, and as a teacher, he was like, kid, anything is possible, and gave me that speech. But I don't think he really realized my mind was made up. I was like, at that point, I was just like, forget school, forget everything. Like that's what I want to do. And I mean, I did graduate school, high school, right? But after that, I just went full board and chased it, and now we're here,
Wow.
which is crazy.
Off the top of my head, I think that was 2006. I could be wrong by a year or so, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
How
2006.
old were you in 2006?
16,
Wow, that is nuts.
I think 15, 16.
And what was it about that scene that made you, like, it's one thing to be like, this is awesome, this is cool, but it's another to say, like, I'm going to be a UFC champion. What was it about it that made it hook for you?
Well, the thing was, my dad was always watching boxing fights, and so I would always see a fighter in a crowd, and I would put two and two together, and for me, like my dad was very quiet and didn't speak much to me growing up. So the only time he would speak to me was Friday nights when the boxing fights are on,
Hmm.
and that's when he would actually engage in a full on conversation with me. It was about fighting and about what the boxer should be doing, but for me, it was just like, man, this is the best time I have. Every Friday on boxing fights is the day I can actually talk and bond with my dad. And I just was like, imagine if I went and fought like he would just, you know, as a kid, I was like, he would just love me so much more. And when I seen the UFC fights, I was like, this is what I saw on TV that my dad loved, and I'm looking at it, and I'm already training jiu-jitsu, and I can do this. And that's kind of what just kind of made that drive happen, you know. And I was like, I'm gonna be in here. I'm gonna be the UFC champ. I'm gonna make my dad proud. Like he's gonna love me forever. Like, you know, it's like this kind of this thought that happens in my head when I was a kid, and that was like the initial jump forward to that. And I think at maybe like 21 years old, I told him, I'm like, you know what, bro, like I'm not doing this to make you happy anymore. I'm doing this because now I want to do this. And yeah, ever since then we just kind of been training, and I got the call for UFC at 23, and I've been in this ever since.
Wow. And what's your relationship like with your dad now?
Oh, it's the best, man. It's I can't. You know, every son says they have the best father in the world, and I feel like I have one of the best. I have the best dad in the world, not one of the best dads in the world out there, as in terms of support, helping, being a shoulder for me to just talk to everything about that's going on in my life. As a matter of fact, the last two fights, Fresno against Cub and Vegas against Frankie, me and him, right after the fight, when everyone wants my attention and everything, me and him hop in the car, just me and him alone, and we drive back home and just talk.
Wow. What are those rides like?
Um, I'll never forget him. You know, I'll never forget him. And he's not like the dad where he's all hyped up about you like everyone else. He's more like, you got to do this better. You got to, you know, he's just like, you need to do, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. And when you're fighting, I don't know why you did this and why you did that. And so he's, the night before, while we're out eating and kind of having fun, he's in there rewatching the fight, kind of like just getting ready to tell me what to do in my next camp. You know, he's like, hey man, like you cut weight wrong. I felt you just kind of suffering more than usual. You shouldn't, you know, you should stop joking around and you know, like just everything. He studies everything in my
Wow.
camp, and then he talks to me about it in the car ride home, and kind of just tells me how to make it better, or his opinion on what I think I should do, and I always take it in and listen, and you know, every camp gets better.
Does he tell you things as the camp goes on, or he keeps it all for the car ride home now?
No, car ride home. He
Wow.
never talks. Yeah, he never talks. Even yeah, he never talks. He just kind of, he's in the corner. He's just hanging out. He'll laugh at, you know, a couple of things we're doing, and then stays quiet. And then after the fight on Sunday, that's when I get to hear him out.
And your brother's not in the car. It's just you two. Your mom, no one.
Just no, mom takes a little brother, and this is, you know, this is just a father son moment, just on this day, you know, on a Sunday, just to
Wow.
yeah. And it happened on the Fresno fight. It happened, you know, it's happened pretty much with every fight. The other two fights before that were here in my
Sure.
city, so it wasn't really much of a drive. But yeah, you know, these last two fights, Cub Swanson and Frankie Edgar, were me and him just, you know, 3 hour, 4 hour car ride, and just kind of break everything down and just talk, you know. And he just keeps it 100% with me and doesn't sugarcoat anything, and tells me how I messed up, what I need to work on, what I don't need to work on, what could do better, what was all right, what wasn't all right. I mean, you could, I mean, anything, man. And then we start talking about life, and the same thing always comes up, like, hey, Dad, you know, I hope I'm making you proud. Like, you know, like, just just talk to him about that, and then he's like, man, like, telling me, like, drop that mentality. He's like, you made me proud a long time ago.
Wow.
But for some reason, I still always tell him, I hope I'm making you proud.
Brian, have you allowed yourself to think about what that car ride home from Las Vegas would be like, you and your dad alone, but then maybe in the back seat is the UFC belt?
Trust me, I've been thinking about it so much. I don't know. yeah, it's like I think he'll probably hold the belt for a little bit, and then go and tell me and more about how I'm doing wrong or whatever. I don't think the championship will be well enough for him. I think he'll still find some way to not ever let me get comfortable, and just keep moving forward. And I feel like he's just always constantly making me grind, and like not getting comfortable, as in terms of the success, or like just because you finished, these last two guys pretty in second round, first round, doesn't mean you can relax or think that you're at the top level now. Like you always got to keep working. And I feel like that's more of his approach why he does that.
How's the foundation going?
Foundation is going great. Robert Downey Jr. just donated 50,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, and invited me to the Avengers movie premiere in Hollywood.
Wow.
When that happened. Yeah, like the guy's such a cool guy, man. Like been, FaceTimes me and talks to me, like. And the first time I was like, oh man, I'm FaceTiming right now with Iron Man. Like,
yeah,
that's all I could think of. But yeah, the guy, he really took interest in what I'm doing and what I stand for, and helped me out. And everyone's out there helping me out. Everyone's out there going to the foundation, donating and trying to help the cause. And I told everyone we visited Children's Hospital already during this training camp, and then we had the Brian Ortega Surf Experience Day in Manhattan Beach, where we took kids with cystic fibrosis surfing.
Wow.
And that was just this camp, this last month. And now I had to get busy for this fight, and after this fight, T-City scholarships are going out to kids who have any dream, anything, like for me it was fighting, but kids want to be pro basketball player, pro hockey player, whatever it is. And I'm going to find these kids who need that help and sponsor them in whatever they need for their training. Whatever I can do to just help push that, that's what we're going to do. And I just got to wait till after this fight so I can have more hands-on and kind of be involved more than just kind of answering a phone call, because I want to see it. For me, this foundation is from the heart. It's not just like, not self-serving or how other foundations that I've seen have been. This one's like, I want to be in there. I want to see these kids. I want to see how they're doing. I want to see how their reaction is when they know that they got the call to train anywhere they want or be anywhere they want for a year. Like, I want to be involved in all that stuff, and I just have to wait till after this fight to do so. And, yeah.
Is the foundation further along than where you thought it would be back in December when you announced it?
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. From then till now, it has grown. Like the amount of growth has been amazing. The amount of support, the amount of people getting involved with it, it's just unbelievable, man. I have my boxing coach's wife, Mary Carmen Larson. She's like my right hand in this, like she's like helping me run the whole thing, constantly giving me calls, reminding me and everything, because I have so much on my plate already, and I feel like the thing was, can you handle more on your plate? And she's helping me balance all that out. So I'm really thankful for her for being there and just kind of, like she just goes through everything, and then the things that are necessary, she gives them to me, Because, I've never realized, but there's really shady people out there, like, hey, Brian, like trying to help me out, and they're like, can I have your account number or whatever?
Oh,
like,
Jeez.
Yeah, like crazy stuff, right? So
Wow.
She deals with that. Yeah. So she deals with all that, and then and kind of just knows, what's real out there and what's not, and then she comes to me with the good stuff, like, hey man, there's these kids here, there's these people here, so that's where I come in, and then I go and do my part, while I'm focused on training camp.
What I love about you so much, Brian, and talking to you is that we can go almost 25 minutes here, 20 minutes, and I haven't even asked you about Max Holloway. So let me ask you one last question, and let me ask you about Max Holloway. There's so much to talk to you about always. There's so much depth to you.
Sorry, bro.
What's the scouting report on Max? What are you expecting from him on July 7th?
From what I've seen is I feel like this is going to be the biggest fight in in featherweight history since Conor and Aldo. If you look at it, as in terms of the biggest fights, I feel like this is going to be the biggest featherweight fight since then. And I feel like he fought the same guys I fought, except for Frankie. He beat Aldo twice. But these guys are from a different generation, right? I feel like these guys are the beginning of the featherweight generation, and now it's like I was against a veteran, he fought Aldo, and he was against a veteran, and now you truly have two young guys who are at their peak of their prime, who are at the top of their level, and we're gonna fight each other. And for me, this is exciting because I come in here in this game to test myself. And right now he's sitting as the best guy in the featherweight division, and I'm sitting as the #1 contender. And there's no other way to put it than you're gonna have two real hungry guys who are, one's hungry to keep and the other one's hungry to take. And I mean, there's nothing else to it, man, besides the fact that the fireworks show's not 4th of July. It's going to be on the 7th of July.
Damn, UFC should cut that up and put it on all its promos right now. You just got me super fired up, even more fired up than I was for the fight. That was amazing. Brian, you're one of a kind, my man.
It's going to be the real fireworks, man.
Amazing.
Thank you, bro.
I can't wait. And, my people, they use the word mensch. You are the quintessential mensch. If you have no idea what that means, Google it. It's the highest compliment possible. You're a tremendous human being and role model, and we're lucky to have you in the sport of mixed martial arts. Thanks so much for doing this. I know you're being pulled in a million different directions, so I really appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you, and good luck, and we'll see you out in Vegas.
All right, man. Thank you, Ariel. All right, brother.
All right, there he is, Tecia himself, Brian Ortega. Wow, that was amazing. What a story. What a story. UFC 60. In attendance. Hoist Gracie, Matt Hughes. That was incredible. I remember that fight. 2006, of course I remember it. That was young versus old. Young T City in attendance. You gotta love it. So, we heard from a couple of champions already. We heard, of course, from Daniel Cormier. We heard from Stipe Miocic. We heard from a former champion in Rampage Jackson. We heard from a potential future champion in Brian Ortega. In a matter of moments, we are going to be joined by the reigning, defending UFC women's strawweight champion, the one and only Rose Namajunas will be stopping by. And I should just say strawweight because, let's be honest, there is only one strawweight. You could say like women's flyweight. I'm not strong enough to open that. You can say, women's featherweight, women's bantamweight, because there is an equivalent, but strawweight, there's only one. Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun on this Monday? After Rose, Max, we still got a lot more show to go. We still got a lot more show to go, my friends. I'm having so much fun. I can't believe that I'm actually doing this show, my baby. I'm doing my show on ESPN. This is nuts. Spread the word, my friends. live.twitter.com/ESPN. This is incredible. A little nod to the past right over there, if I'm getting that right. Some familiar faces to my right and left. This is incredible. It still doesn't feel real. I've only been here 10 days. Remember when I said goodbye? That was 2 weeks ago. And now it feels like, as I said at the top, it feels like it was 2 years ago. But we are back, and I told you we'd be back, and a lot of you didn't believe me. But we're back. And if you missed any portion of the show, like I said earlier, you can get us on iTunes. I still think we're #1 with an episode 0. You can get us on Google Podcasts, ESPN.com, the brand spanking new ESPN app. Hopefully, this will end the questions about YouTube, this, that, the other, international. A lot of you, I know, I understand. I'm Canadian. A lot of you get upset. Oh, you're Canadian, international. Why can't you? I told you. We're good. We're live. We're free. We're international. We're on a bigger platform. This is good. This is exciting. I'm so very excited. Okay, so Rose is coming up in a matter of moments. Elisa is efforting to connect with her. Then we'll be joined by Max Holloway. Rashad Evans, you don't want to miss that. He will come on at around 3:25. Still to come, of course, Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, who meets Francis Ngannou at UFC 226. After the Black Beast, I haven't checked my phone. Okay. We'll then be joined by Lyoto Machida, the newest member of Bellator MMA. Can't wait to speak to him about his departure from the UFC. If you missed it last week, Lyoto Machida has signed with Bellator. He is no longer a member of the UFC. His contract, in fact, expired with the Vitor Belfort fight, the crazy front kick fight. Remember that? And unlike a lot of people, and there's no right or wrong, I think there's value in speaking about it. I think there's value in building some buzz. It's a story heading into your final fight. But for whatever reason, I'll ask him why. Unlike, some of those people in the past, he did not make public that it was the last fight on his contract. He didn't tell the world. He didn't want it to be public. But he went out, he fought his fight, and then he became a free agent. And I still feel like the word free agent is a bit of a misnomer. Free agency is something that LeBron James, for example, is about to embark on July 1st. In MMA, it's not really free agency. It's the best word that we can use. But let's be honest, there's not really free agency when at this point, if we're going to be kind, if you're a UFC fighter, okay, your contract is up. Where are you going to go? You can look at Bellator, of course. They're a tremendous second option. And then after that, the options become a little more limited. There's PFL, which at this point their roster is locked in. There's one. There's a couple of options out there, but there's a big drop off. It's not like you're playing for the Yankees and then you have 29 or 30 other teams to go to. It's a massive drop off. So if you happen to have a bad relationship with Scott Coker and you're a UFC fighter, your options are even more limited. So to say it's free agency isn't exactly akin to what baseball, basketball, football, and hockey players go through. Like John Tavares is about to embark on free agency. He's got a bunch of teams coming after him who would love to have his services. But it's not quite the same in MMA. Nevertheless, his contract expired. He was able to go test the market, so to speak, signs with Bellator, and now he is the newest member of their roster. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of matchups they put him in. Do they put him in middleweight fights, light heavyweight fights, super fights, things of that nature? We shall find out. For now, though, let us move along to our next guest. And what an honor it is to have another champion in the UFC right now. She's coming off a big win over Joanna Jędrzejczyk in Brooklyn, April 7th, UFC 223. Our old friend Thug Rose Namajunas is joining us. There she is. Rose,
Hey.
how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm really happy that you're here. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is our first episode for ESPN. You've been a part of the shows in the past, so it meant a lot that you would come on today. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Where are you right now?
Congratulations, man.
Oh, I think I just saw Pat Barry's luscious legs.
Yeah, he just walked by.
Are you guys working in the garden? What are we doing today on this Monday? Hey Pat,
What up, man?
how are you?
Doing great, bro. You look great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. What's on tap? A lot of gardening today?
Yeah, garden as always, and then just just making some adulting, I guess. Hold on one second. I'll show you. Yeah, we had adulting things.
Adulting things?
But yeah, let me see. Taxes and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's not fun.
Paying bills.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I could turn it around, but
What do you got?
you can't really see it.
What was it?
Some tomatoes,
Oh.
another tomato, some peppers, and I'm trying to show it without breaking my back, but yeah,
That's
tomato
amazing.
plants, and then our neighbors got some too, because we inspired them to grow some stuff too.
Do you eat from your own garden?
Yeah, occasionally. It's still pretty early, like I think the first day of summer just happened, so there's still, everything's still growing, but we've had a few, like, pieces of, like lettucey greens and whatnot, and we have this lemon tree here. It's a little baby right now. I just pruned it.
Wow.
So I'm trying to grow that. We got this serviceberry bush over here.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I just had some berries and stuff.
And I see you're wearing the Thug Rose Reebok shirt, which I think is the best Reebok shirt they've ever made. Do you like it?
Oh, yeah, I like it. I just wish they would have said Thug Rose instead of Rose Thug, but other than that, it's cool.
Yeah, why did they do that? Why'd they switch it up?
I have no idea. I think it's just because, like, maybe it just looks cool right here, like,
Yeah.
just with the thing. I'm not really sure.
Do you know that meme, the one where the glasses come down? You know that?
Yeah, or like, the glasses fall on the face.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
incredible. Did you have any say in this, or did they just make it and show it to you?
No, they just like sent a box of them to my house.
Wow.
And yeah.
And you were like, okay, awesome. I didn't ask for this, but this is great.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, I guess. All my friends and teammates and whatnot really enjoyed the t-shirt.
Yeah. Do you walk around town wearing a shirt with your face on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no shame. I have no shame in wearing my own stuff, Actually, as a matter of fact, it's like, why would I be advertising somebody else's stuff over mine?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't understand that whole, like, I don't know, some people have gripes about wearing their own t-shirt. I'm like, what? That's yours.
Yes.
How are you going to expect people to wear it and want to wear it if you don't wear it?
Of course. Be proud of it.
And, yeah.
Is it on sale yet? And do you get a cut of the sales?
No idea.
That's a good question.
Okay.
I should probably know that. Yeah, I'm terrible with that stuff. That's why that's why I need this time off so I could do more of that adulting
The
stuff.
adulting thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my friend Kevin over at Reebok. He's the one who's.
Hey, Reggie.
Oh, hello there. Would we have a new addition? Is there a dog and a cat now?
Yeah, we got 2 cats actually. They've been around. Let's see, we've had them a little over a year now, but they've been more like a little incognito.
Oh, they don't travel.
No, they stay home.
And how does Mishka get along with
They
them?
sometimes go on like car rides, but what's that?
How does Mishka get along with them?
She'll play with them sometimes. It's actually kind of funny because Reggie, he's like more timid. He like, he doesn't. He's more shy and stuff. But he'll play with, or she'll play with him, and like kind of bite at his paws and stuff, and he'll kind of swat at her or whatever. But and then the other cat we have, he's way more just tough and macho. So yeah, but he thinks he's a dog. So like when I go chase Mishka in a circle out in the grass, like sometimes he'll come chase us like he thinks he's a dog.
Wow.
Oh, he actually it's actually kind of funny because usually cats like to cover up their droppings,
Yeah.
like, but he'll use the bathroom just like a dog, like out in the open. Like, it's weird.
Wow. That is interesting.
Yeah, but Mishka doesn't play with him as much.
You have kept a low profile relatively since the fight in April. Any particular reason for that, or is that the way you like to do it? Just appear, make your noise, win, and then go away?
I think, I have no particular reason. That's just kind of like what I feel like I need to do at the moment, like you never really get a moment of silence, when, you're constantly like, we have, everybody athletes talk about such a short window of time that we have to do this fighting thing and whatnot. So that's why you see, people constantly just pushing themselves and trying to make the most of it. And I get that, but also my mental health is like a number one priority above my career. So like for me, privacy is like a huge thing. And so I try to maintain that as much as possible. And, like that's just one of those things where it's a constant balancing act for me. Like I know putting myself out there and being out there is important and whatnot. And financially speaking, career wise and whatnot. And for the fans too, but also like, I think like I said, my mental health is the number one priority.
Physically and mentally, 2 months, 2.5 months after the fight, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I feel like there's definitely, I mean, there's still a lot of healing that needs to happen, and but it feels great to finally just be like sitting down with
First time.
nothing really to do. Like, yes, I have things that responsibilities and that I have to take care of, and things that I pushed off for me like a long time. So that's like, always, but it's not like, okay, gotta get up, gotta do this, gotta do that, constantly just like doing something, versus I can just choose, okay, what task am I going to complete today? It's more of a choice. And, like, we do make our own schedules. We are like our own bosses in a way, like when it comes to, being a fighter and whatnot. But, you always try and you try and take advantage of like all these opportunities and stuff all the time. And so to get a moment of just like, I don't got to say yes to everything, that's kind of cool.
When you say healing, do you mean more from a spiritual, mental standpoint or a physical standpoint, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely mental and spiritual is probably on the top of the list. And then, physically, I've got some injuries that I've been dealing with for a while. Yeah, I had a neck fracture. I have a neck. Yeah, and then some like stenosis, which means like the spinal cord that goes through your vertebrae or whatever is the hole for it is a little bit smaller because of the fracture. So there's times where I was just getting like real bad headaches every day in training camp and stuff like that. And not just from physical activity, but from the stress, like that would almost aggravate it even more. And then like flying places really makes it worse and things like that. So that's been something I've been really focusing on, is just like doing little exercises and just lots of rehab and stuff, and just really looking into it, because there's not a lot of information out there in terms of what supposedly I have this like calcification of some ligament right here.
Wow.
So trying to figure out what that means. I don't know if that's even a real thing or whatever, but I could feel it. Like sometimes I push on it and it hurts. So yeah, I'm trying to just kind of figure out what's going on with that.
Do you need surgery?
No, everything's good with no surgery needed, just like rehab and stuff, and just to make sure that I can go a while without having a headache causing from this. You know what I mean? Like that was a real emotional thing for me for a while. Like it's just having headaches for no reason.
Did you?
So now it's
No, go ahead.
Oh no, now it's been a while since I've had like that headache nonstop. Like I grappled for the first time in a while yesterday, and my neck was a little sore, but it wasn't like this burning sensation in my head, So that seems like it's getting better. And what else was I gonna say? I don't know. It's definitely like I think it's getting better. It's just it's gonna take some time to just like not aggravate it too much,
Do you feel like this has been a build-up, or did something happen in particular in a fight or in training that led to this?
Man, I remember a few instances where I remember like, well, it could have happened like really at any moment, and I think like for sure, I think it happened in training. That's my guess. My guess is one day like, and not to like, I don't want to put no blame on nobody, but the training that we did with Valentina was really like super intense and stuff. And I just remember one day like it was just constant like grinding like every day, day in and day out. I think I remember specifically one day coming home and my neck was really hurting, and I had the ice pack on my neck for a while. But that was just kind of like, I thought it was just a normal thing, and it didn't bother me super like terribly after I just took like a little break from it. But then it started really aggravating me in the last training camp with Joanna, when I fought Joanna the second time, where I was just like having headaches like nonstop, and I felt like I wasn't sleeping good, and it was just, so I don't know if it caused but yeah, I don't really know exactly what happened.
Okay. Realistically, though, do you think that you will be out for the rest of the year with this?
Yeah, my guess, I don't know. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like, I kind of have to see how things play out, but I have no interest in like getting right back in there at the moment. I think I had to let things kind of play. Yeah, my neck is the most important thing.
Did you see that last fight? That was rough.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and plus, honestly, like I think the top 5, like after beating Joanna twice, and then like, and for her to be so far, still like it just seems to me, and who knows what she's gonna show up like. I mean, Tecia could go in there and hit her with one punch and she's out. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But just the level that she's at, it's like it's hard for me to see like what the top 5, who's the next contender, really, or like I feel like the top 5, there needs to be more of a clear contender.
Sure.
I think at the moment.
And now you're training with Tecia Torres, who you know very well. How did that happen?
Oh yeah, well she's right in the area, and I mean we know each other pretty well. I think we've lived with each other in Ultimate Fighter. We've been on the same team. Like, we fought each other before that, then we fought each other again after that, and like it really doesn't. I don't think I guess this relationship, like the relationship that we have, I don't think the fighting really necessarily affects our relationship with each other. Now I'm sure if she were to like spin kick me in my head and
Yeah.
like I'd go unconscious there, I might look at her stupid. No, but overall, like I mean, I think she's cool. So like I like seeing how she's doing and stuff like that. And so I think we have a pretty decent friendship outside of fighting and stuff like that. So yeah, if she wanted to come up here, and we have lots of training partners out here that different bodies that we can get, just live training in. And we don't have like the most one-on-one resources all the time, but I try and, help when I can, and I try and, do what I can to help my friend out,
By the way,
if that means one day we'll have a trilogy match or something like that.
Yeah.
It's cool either way.
that is very cool. Last time we spoke, of course, we spoke a lot about the bus incident, and I don't want to go over that again. But is it true that Conor reached out to you privately?
I mean, I don't really know. Like, I did get a message. Rizzy, come here. I did get a Instagram message from him, but I don't really know if that was really him, or I mean, to me that doesn't seem like the type of way that if you could. I don't know. It just didn't seem like a sincere apology from an actual person. You know what I mean? So like, to me, I didn't really, I guess, consider it a real apology.
Okay. Well, did he actually apologize in the message? The person that wrote something to you, was there an apology in there?
Yeah, I said I'm sorry for what happened, and then it was like, but then it immediately went on to like justifying like what he did and stuff like that, and the reasons why he did it, like saying what happened. It's like, that to me, it really doesn't matter. I don't care what beef he's got with who or what. That's none of my business. Like, I don't need to know that information. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't do anything for me. So, yeah. So I don't. So everything. So yeah, there was an apology, and like I'm a pretty cool person. I always say apologies, but to me, I'm like a personal person. Like, I like to face to face. Like, when we weren't being connected, like when I almost had to call you on the phone versus FaceTime, like that was kind of messed up. So I really wanted to have FaceTime or to Skype with you. So like, to me, that's kind of how I like to handle things.
Cool. Yes, of course. Not to say that we have a beef, right? You mean being on the show, right?
And if we did,
we'd handle.
I'd rather, face to face. Like,
yes.
I'd rather, confront you face to face, and that, not with my fist, but
sure.
I feel like anything could be worked out. Just got to talk through it, and as adults,
Did you even reply to that?
Yeah, I said fuck that.
That's it?
Yeah.
Did he reply to that?
No, I said call Pat, because it's like, yeah, like, I just put Pat's phone number, said fuck that, like, whatever your message is, like, call him.
Did he call?
No.
Okay. Are you over it?
Didn't come from Conor.
Yeah, we don't think that really came from him.
Apology didn't come from him.
Okay. Do you feel like you're over it?
No, man, I'm still honestly like, uh, so man, like when we got back home, we stayed upstairs like locked in our room because we were just paranoid like about just how crazy the week was and stuff. Like it was really tough. So and I'm still trying not to like leave the house too much, or just there'd be times where I'm just like, yeah, we should just go home, like, cause I just have a weird feeling, or whatever. Like, yeah, like, and I live in a very nice neighborhood. It's not like, you know, there's nothing really that goes on around here. Every once in a while, maybe something, but so for me to be like, okay, so I'm still paranoid about just everything. Yeah.
Do you talk to anyone about it, or are you just dealing it, with Pat and trying to cope yourselves?
Oh no, I have a therapist that I go see. So
Okay.
yeah.
You feel like you're starting to feel better?
Yeah, so I got somebody helping me with. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the summer has been beautiful here. It's been like, I mean, I guess it just started. Like, it's been summer for freaking month already, but it's been nice weather. It's almost like too nice. Like, it's super hot every day. So yeah, I'm just having fun, like just trying to unwind and stuff, and keep I don't know, like just taking care of stuff that I've been putting off, and like, yeah, just get my life back in order.
All right. Well, I've taken up too much of your time. Thank you so much for doing this, Rose. I know you don't do a lot of interviews, so I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us and updating us. And I hope your neck feels better soon. And obviously you take as much time as possible. And thank you to Pat as well. Always great to catch up with you guys. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the crops outside. Enjoy your cats and your dogs and everything. Enjoy the good life, the champ life. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. There she is, the one and only Thug Rose Namajunas, the UFC strawweight champion, stopping by. How great was that? That was amazing. And somewhat surprising to hear about her neck. I didn't know about that. And hopefully she does feel better soon.